Welcome to the finale of What If Beta Lumity was in Doki Doki Takeover. Now, the reason why I'm going back to my original format, because obviously the last part was going to be a new format I was going to try out, is because this story actually has two separate endings. And just so you have an incentive to listen to the other one, I'm not going to include all the details of the story in this part. So there'll be some things missing, which you would need to go to the other part to get the other details from. But however, there should be enough details where you really shouldn't need to, but yeah, that's basically what I'm trying to go for. No, yeah, if things goes right, they should be uploaded at the exact same time. So yeah, that's really all I gotta say. So let's continue on with the story. Our story continues a few hours after the episode, O Titan, Where Art Thou? And a few hours before Cloud on the Horizon. If you didn't know, there is basically like a few hour time gap, almost a day between the two episodes, and that's basically where this is being taken place. As Lucia, Ida, and King are resting up for the Day of Unity, Lucia realizes that the Literature Club might arrive during the Day of Unity, and she doesn't want that at all. She doesn't want them to be involved with this craziness that is happening. So she tells Ida about this, and they quickly comes up with a plan to stop them. She uses her pendant that was made by Monica so that they can travel between Monica's world and the Boiling Isles. She uses her pendant to open a portal to Monica's world. She plans to steal each of the girls' pendants because Monica made one for each of the girls, so they don't need Monica or Lucia to go back and forth. Just before Lucia goes through the portal, Ida tells her to be careful, even though she doesn't really need it. But this was more of a front for Ida, as Ida pickpockets Lucia to steal her pendant so that Lucia can stay away during the events of the Day of Unity, like Ida tried to do with Luz in the original story. Now keep in mind, the events still happen similarly, so Ida did try like she does in the original story. This is just another way for Ida to try to stop Lucia. However, Ida's plan quickly foiled as Lucia reassures Ida that she's not going to be alone in this task. String Being actually takes Lucia's pendant back and drops it into Lucia's hand. Just as Lucia reassures Ida, she learned from the best. She gives Ida a cheeky smile and goes into the portal. After walking through the portal, Lucia immediately flies onto String Being to head to the school. When they land on the rooftop, Lucia hides String Being in her jacket. Lucia goes through the school to look for the girls, and the first one she finds is Natsuki. Lucia and Natsuki talk a little bit while String Being searches her for the pendant. During their chat, Natsuki tells Lucia that Sayori still isn't talking to Monica. Now Lucia does know this information, as Amelia had told her before the events of Hollow Mind. After a bit more talking, Natsuki asks if Lucia is going to be at the club meeting today, to which Lucia says that she will be. So after that, she bids Natsuki goodbye so she can look for the other girls. Once they're out of sight of Natsuki, String Being comes out of hiding and drops Natsuki's pendant in Lucia's hand. This happens with the other girls, with Sayori and Yuri, with either String Being taking the pendant or Lucia herself pickpocketing it. Once she finds Monica, she does the same thing with her. She talks to Monica while String Being searches her person. While talking, Lucia asks Monica if she told them that Sayori had wielded the same power as her and basically did the same thing. But Monica tells her that she has not. She chose to keep that a secret so that Sayori wouldn't feel the guilt that Monica felt. And just like the other girls, Monica asks if Lucia was going to be at the club meeting, to which Lucia does confirm. She makes up an excuse on why she's not really at the school, basically saying that she was just going to eat some lunch somewhere and then meet them at the club room. After finishing their conversation, Lucia bids Monica farewell and heads to the rooftop. Once there, String Being drops the last pendant into Lucia's hand. Now that Lucia has all four girls' pendants, she flies on String Beings away from the school, and once they're at a safe distance, she uses her pendant to return to the Boiling Isles. And after that, the events of Clouds on Horizon happens almost exactly the same, again with the exception that Bosha replaces Gus, and that the situation is slightly different as not only are they older, but their personal life is much different than the original Owl House characters. Thing once again changes when Lucia is handed over to Bellows, thinking that she was Hunter. Bellows knew that it was Lucia before it was even revealed to him. Before Bellows can say anything more than was said in the actual show, Lucia uses a fire glyph at Bellows, which actually causes him to move out of the way. But Lucia knew this, as it was a way for her to get closer. As Lucia gets up, she rushes him to punch him in the face. As he staggers, string beam comes out of her jacket and wraps around one of her wrists, just to make another hit stronger. While doing so, she pulls out an ice glyph and punches him with said glyph, which sends him flying to a pillar. This actually hurts Bellows and surprises him. After picking himself back up, Bellows uses his staff and fires magic at Lucia. This was able to hit Lucia. After firing a couple more magic blasts at her, Lucia runs around trying to lay traps like Luz does in the actual show. However, unlike in the actual show, where Luz is at a disadvantage with Bellows, Lucia takes opportunity to get close to Bellows so that she can physically hit him. And it actually does work a bit, as Bellows needs to get away because he can actually do more damage with magic to Lucia than he can physically. Unlike in the actual show, Lucia doesn't get hit with a slight petrification spell, nor does Bellows get tricked by Lucia like Luz did in the actual show. It's just a straight up fight that happens for a while, and in fact, the fight actually lasts until the draining spell activates. The fight goes on for a bit until, just like in King's Tide, the group comes with Lucia, but however, instead of it being the Hex Squad for this story, they are with the Doki Girls and Ida. This surprises Lucia when she sees the Doki Girls are there, because her plan was to stop them from coming, and yet here they are. Lucia thinks to herself, saying that she should not have said she would have been at the literature club. That probably tipped them off. But what also surprises her is when she sees Ida without an arm. The group, minus the Doki Girls, charges into the battle to help Lucia, which gets her attention back onto Bellows. Now that there is a group fighting Bellows, he is on the back foot, even if he is using magic. In fact, it seems like Bellows is going to lose until he sees Monica stopping the draining spell, similar to how the Collector did in the original show. It doesn't take long for him to put two and two together that Monica was what the Collector was sensing. So in a quick action, dodging and weaving everyone, he goes to Monica and possesses her, similar to how he did with Hunter and the Titan. He is amazed by the amount of power that Monica has, and so he tries to use it, but he doesn't have full control of it yet. However, now the group is in a dilemma, as now they need to stop Bellows but not kill Monica. So they fight Bellows again, but obviously they're holding back a lot more as to not kill Monica. As the fight continues, Bellows still needs to use his sludge form while he learns Monica's power. It gets to a point where Bellows actually pierces through Lucia's body. As Lucia slowly dies, she turns to everyone. I guess this is it. I think I should be used to this by now, but thanks everyone. And with that, Lucia dies similar to how she does in the actual show. We will still follow Lucia as the scene plays out similar to how it does in the actual show, in Watching and Dreaming, with Lucia meeting King's dad. However, unlike in the actual show, King's dad isn't dying because of Bellows, so he isn't in too much of a hurry for Lucia, so he's able to get some words out, but it is over their heads that they are on a time crunch. After getting everything that she needed from him, King's dad gives Lucia his power. This is more his decision, as this is the only thing that he can do to help not only the people of the Boiling Isles, but to help his son and his family. Before Lucia goes, he tells her that the Titan itself will no longer exist. The body that keeps the Boiling Isle, it will still be there for everyone, but the Titan is no more. Lucia is the Titan now. Lucia is kind of confused, but she doesn't get an answer as she is sent back to the battlefield, just like in the original show. We'll cut to a battle that's happening, an enraged Ida, King, Lucia, and Wyona, plus Abosha and Hunter. As Bello is about to send an attack to Ida, it is intercepted. Just like in the original show, Lucia has come back, but with a Titan form. After taking in the shock that Lucia is back and in a new form, Lucia gives Bellows one last chance to stop all of this and to let Monica free, but Bello doesn't take it. Lucia is slightly disappointed, but she knew that it was a long shot, and in a quick motion, she attacks Bellows, which catches him off guard. Lucia is able to hit him a couple more times before he ends up righting himself and start fighting back. At this point, Belos has learned a bit more about Monika's power due to fighting the group. So throughout the battle, Belos is basically spawning in environments of the Boiling Isles, whether it be like buildings, stalls, stands, whatever. He's basically spawning them in used to attack Lucia. However, Lucia is able to quickly destroy it, block it, or whatever. Throughout the fight, like in the original show, Lucia has to learn how to use this form. In fact, just like in the original show, we would get a scene with Lucia actually learning to use magic with Ida, as well as using King's ability with him. However, Lucia is not the only one learning to use his body throughout the fight. Belos is learning more of Monika's ability. The fight has been in Lucia's favor for a while. That is until Belos hits Lucia with an attack that he wasn't expecting. It was basically a deletion attack that Monika uses. A more refined version of the deletion that Monika's done. Lucia was able to break free of this, but not without losing a spell. This catches everyone off guard, but Belos now sees that there is a way to actually win this. He basically starts using this ability more and more. Lucia now has to dodge and weave all these attacks while getting close to him to free Monika. However, of course, Belos wouldn't make it easy. He would still spawn in things of the Boiling Isle to get in the way. Every time Lucia gets hit with this attack, she's able to break free, but every time she does get hit, she does end up losing a spell, and the more spells she loses, the more she has to rely on string beam. It gets to a point where Lucia loses all but one spell, which will be her light spell, as well as loses her ability to fly. Belos claims that he has won the battle and that he will get rid of every single witch out there. He laments that he has to do this to a fellow human again, but if it means getting rid of every single demonic being here, he will do it. Throughout the speech, Lucia rushes into Belos with string beam, and as she does, she charges right into him and sends them both flying to the ground. Belos tries to teleport away, but Lucia isn't letting him get away. As they land on the ground, Lucia has dug her fingers into Monika and has a grip onto Belos. And with a powerful roar, Lucia is able to pull Belos out of Monika. Doing so actually brings back all of Lucia's power. And just like in the original show, Belos tries to trick Lucia by saying that he was cursed and that Lucia had broken the curse. But she isn't having any of this. She doesn't say anything. She lifts her arm and starts drawing a circle with magic following her fingertip. Belos takes a steps back at this, knowing what Lucia is going to do. He tells her that she can't do this. She already lost so much. If she truly goes through with killing him like this, she'll truly be gone. She'll become one of them and lose her humanity. But Lucia says nothing. She doesn't crack a smile, she doesn't chuckle, she just stares at him. After the magic connects, she lets the magic go and fires all the magic that she learned into one, which ends up disintegrating him. After his death, everyone comes rushing towards her, all glad and excited that Lucia is alive. While they're celebrating not only that Lucia is alive, but as well as Belos' death, Lucia notices that Amelia is giving her a shit-eating grin. Lucia immediately knows what Amelia is going to say. So, how easy was it to learn about your powers? Fuck you, Amelia. In that form? Hopefully. Which actually causes Wyonas to groan. It says that she does not want to hear about their fucking that's gonna happen. Which actually causes everyone to laugh about this. Ida asks if this form is permanent, to which Lucia says it is, which causes Hunter to ask if she's gonna be like that forever or if she can transform him back. Lucia doesn't really know, so she gives it a try, to which she can go back and forth in this form. After a little bit more talking, Ida gives Lucia her beanie back, saying that she left it with her when this all started. Lucia takes it back. She stares at it, contemplating on putting it on. After thinking for a bit, she decides against it and throws it into the boiling sea. Everyone questions why she does this, to which Lucia responds saying that she doesn't need it anymore. It was always some form of comfort for her, but she doesn't need it anymore. After that, everything starts to go back to normal, Rebuilding the bowling aisles was pretty quick thanks to Monica's help. And thanks to Monica's help, Lucia's and the other girls' pendant can now travel to Monica's world, the bowling aisles, and to Lucia's world. The final shot of this would be with Lucia and everyone in that group in front of her door. She knocks on it to where we will cut into Camellia cooking dinner with V sitting at a table reading a book, probably a school book. Camellia will hear the door and tells V that she'll get it. When she opens the door, she's surprised to see Lucia there. "Hey Mom, I'm back."